So here we are, guys, looking at a replay of me playing in the BatChat along with Zeonts and Ektar. Big shout out to those two. Ektar's playing in his FV4202, so he's repping the Brits. And myself and Zeonts are both in BatChats. Looking at the enemy team, this is a fairly interesting matchup. They've got 4 very dangerous tank destroyers, as well as a 50B and a T110E5. Myself and Z are deciding that we can patrol the middle here. They don't really have any high tier mediums, and if we were to meet their mediums, we should be able to kill them in a few salvos. So immediately a VK is making his way. I put my first shell in, aim around, bounce the second, pen the third. Unfortunately, that VK distracted us from taking out a very important target, which is the AMX 50B up there. Having only 2 shells left, I decided to reload. I reload quite frequently in the BatChat. The BatChat has an amazing 5-shell autoloader. Each shell capable of doing 390 average damage, which is huge. You can basically take out a tier 10 medium tank if you roll average in this with 1 clip, which is pretty incredible, really. So this AMX 50B was very bold to get in such an aggressive location. But, as you can see, there's no artillery, so that's, for all intensive purposes, very strong. Now right now, Ektar is getting nailed by a Lorraine that we can see here on the map. He was last spotted here, and he's just basically nailing across and we can't spot him, unfortunately. I decide that I might take a shot, but I want to get a kill on the T110E5. And he puts one into me, but we confirm the kill. Luckily that 50B wasn't quite ready to punish me. And oh god, Ektar gets hit by an E4, oh dear. So we've lost Ektar. Myself and Z are still alive. I took some serious damage though. Fortunately there's a Lorraine there. I'm going left, right, trying to dodge the shells, trying to make my movements a little bit unpredictable. And we can see he did miss his shell. So I've still got 3 shots left. I just want to get into a position where I can safely unload. And I feel that here's my chance to get some revenge on that Lurve who was shooting me. Ah, I was still spotted. Really poor play by me there. And I took 2 shots to put 2 shots on a Lurve. That's not very good, guys. You don't want to take shots to try and put shots on tier 8 tanks. If you're playing a BatChat like that, you're playing it wrong. Fortunately, we've still got just over half our health left. So you can see here, playing quite defensively now in the BatChat, looking at the huge cluster of enemies who are dead ahead of us in front of that IS-7 on the map. Basically their whole team. Nearly reloaded, and we see a Centurion firmly in the open. Fortunately, we're not going to be able to get our shots off on him with the poor gun depression of the BatChat, so we have to advance a little bit. Now we have the kill shots. 400 damage, followed by 347 damage. And a kill on the Lurve as well. We can see the E100 Jagdpanzer is advancing. I got spotted, thanks to my 6th sense informing me. So it's time for me to keep moving, pull back a little bit, and reload. And wait for a re-engagement. So we can see that this IS-7, along with Z, are holding off quite a few of the enemy. We're up 4 kills at the moment over the enemy team. So it's just a case of consolidating our position and trying to look after our advantage in this game. So here we can see a 121. That's the tier 10 Chinese medium tank. I'm trying to trace him. I want to make sure I confirm my shots in the BatChat. If I was to fire, I might get spotted. And here we can see an Inderpanzer who is just out of shot. So, the IS-7 has taken an absolute pasting. Thankfully Z is on good amounts of health. I've been spotted, and this ridgeline is very dangerous. You can sometimes take hits from the forest here. I'm seeing to trying to feather that Inderpanzer to try and get shots on him. And now I see that Z needs some backup, so I'm hightailing it to go and back up Z here. I tell him on Skype that I will handle the Inderpanzer. who I knew was going to get side shots on him. There goes my ammo rack, but there's no point in repairing your ammo rack until you're actually reloading in the BatChat. Unfortunately, Z took a large amount of damage there, and he has very little health now. The 1-2-1, he stopped just as I fired. I was giving a bit too much lead, but we managed to finish him off there. Now this is a bit of a touch-and-go situation. I know there's a Jagdpanzer E100 to my west, and now the Lorraine has spotted me, and that Jagdpanther 2 has spotted me. I'm completely surrounded. I'm just thinking, be relaxed, chill. You can still see that I have not repaired my ammo rack, because get used to playing French tanks, and I had to learn how to do this, to not repair your ammo rack until you actually load. The amount of times that I've been ammo racked when I'm not actually reloading in the French tanks is ridiculous. So you can see here, trying to avoid some fire from the Lorraine, dodging some shells, and Z's giving some covering fire from the bushes. So now the game's evened up a little bit. We're only 2 kills ahead now, and the enemy has quite a strong position in the middle of the map. Myself and Z are now 1 hits for most of the enemy tanks. So we're just going to be waiting. We're just going to wait. We're just going to be passive and let the enemies come into us, because at the moment we're winning the forest. So this is very interesting. He's got 800 health. We put 1 shell into him. Fire my second. Fire my third, and which misses, and so I decide, let's do it. Let's fire the 5th. And it goes in, taking him out. That was a good result. You can't waste too much ammo in the BatChat. I was thinking to myself, I'm only going to have 11 shells after this, but I thought that would be enough to be able to take out the remaining tanks with a potential damage of 4,000 with those shells. So we can see this E100 Jagdpanzer is really out of position, and Z's getting some fantastic shots off on the enemy here. Oh, I'm quite worried about getting spotted here, and I do get spotted. Time to fall back behind the ridgeline. Thankfully there's no artillery, so we do have the flexibility to just keep working these ridges. And Z takes out the E100 Jagdpanzer. So now there's only 2 tier 8 tanks remaining. This is a cleanup operation. I'm on 7 kills, so I'm quite wanting to try and get my Radley-Walters right now. And the Jagdpanther takes out the Jagdpanther. So the Tiger 2 was last spotted up here on this ridge. Let's speed the game up just a little bit. We can see that even though XVM is great and it's a useful tool, it's not always right. Wondering where the Tiger 2 is. Thinking that some Benny Hill music would be appropriate right now. And there he is, and he's got no health. Now this is a very lucky shot coming up. I'm going to put it down into half speed here. Da 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 da. Oi! I was so worried that the Jagdpanther 2 was going to get the kill, and I really wanted to take a punt to get my Radley-Walters, which ended up alright. So here are the after game stats. 70,000 credits, 3,300 experience for our double. We've got a top gun and a sniper medal, which is amazing considering that clip of ammunition that I fired at that object while he was stealth. We only missed 2 shots out of 20 with a 90% accuracy. We managed to pull off 4,500 damage, which got us the top experience. Damage upon detecting, as we can see here, was 1,600. I should give a shout out to 666, Life Lover 666, because he did 5,000 damage in a tier 10 game in a Jagdpanther 2. In my opinion, that's pretty massive. That's a great effort, sir. I'm quite happy with my Radley-Walters medal there. Myself and Z managed to carry the game after Ektar took an unfortunate beating at the beginning. What do I think of the BatChat? I think it's a fantastic tank. It's very, very, very powerful, capable of doing 1,950 damage with a clip, and its reload isn't even that long. It's just very powerful if you use it opportunistically, and as it's a medium tank and it's quite low profile and it's quite small, it's able to avoid quite a few shells just by using its speed. You can have great results in the BatChat, and it's a tank that's fully capable of carrying the end of a game in a tricky situation. if you play it very carefully. It doesn't do very well against multiple enemies unless they're on low health. You should really try and get engagements against tanks that you know you're going to be able to kill very effectively, taking a maximum of 1 or 2 hits to be a fair trade. So I hope you enjoyed this game, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. You've been epic, and I'll see you soon.